I wouldn't want to be Nicolas Maduro right now. And Maduro's got a lot of decisions to make. You're sitting on a floating island of American power, and we're prepared to use that power to interdict and destroy narco-terrorists who are sending drugs to our country. We know Nicolas Maduro has been involved in that for a very long time. He's indicted and wanted in the Southern District of New York. There's a bounty for $50 million. The U.S. government wants him. The ball is in his court.
Vamos a escuchar al secretario Pete Hegseth, quien habla acerca de Nicolás Maduro y envía un ultimátum, ¿no? Entonces,
the Secretary of War, ¿por qué es necesario cambiar de nombre?
Well, words matter, titles matter. In 1789, the long history of the War Department of this country. We won World War I and World War II with a War Department. We want a warrior ethos. Ironically, not ironically, fittingly, the motto of my first platoon that I ever led was, "Those who long for peace must prepare for war." It's because we want peace. It's because we seek peace. It's because the American people deserve peace that we need to be as ready as possible to wage violent and unrelenting war on behalf of the American people. Our enemies and adversaries need to know we mean business. They know President Trump means business. They know he's rebuilt the military. Our job is to instill that warrior ethos into the War Department. So we're proud of it. We think it fits, and we're going to make sure we stand behind it all the way.
Su jefe acaba de declarar guerra contra los cárteles y aquí estamos sentados en un amphibian ship. ¿De qué se trata esta misión?
Well, protect the homeland, protect the American people. Core national interests, the safety of the American people. Stop the killing, stop the poisoning of the American people. It's as simple as that. I mean, how long have drug cartels waged war on our communities, on our families, on our young people, on our streets? Violent cartels that made their way easily across the southern border under Joe Biden and his disastrous policy. So President Trump's locking the border down. He's done that, and we're going to continue to do that. And now we go on offense to make sure these cartels can't be funded, that they can't sustain what they're doing. And it doesn't mean we're fighting every cartel everywhere endlessly. That's not what we're doing. We're not trading one endless fight for another endless fight. It's the precise application of American power to send very clear signals that narco-terrorism will not be tolerated in our hemisphere. And if you want to traffic drugs that are headed for the United States, we're not doing it with kid gloves anymore. You're going to find yourself at the bottom of the Caribbean because we're going to treat you like Al-Qaeda. We're going to treat you like a terrorist, a narco-terrorist. President Trump designated them foreign terrorist organizations. We don't use that phrase lightly. You're killing and poisoning the American people. We are sealing and repelling at the southern border. This is a part of that. And so we take very seriously this, but it's not endless. It doesn't mean we go everywhere all the time. It means these narco-terrorists are on notice. They're designated, whether it's Cartel del Sol, whether it's Tren de Aragua, you name it. We know who you are. We know what you're doing. We're not going to tolerate it in our hemisphere, and we're going to be very precise about it.
Háblame de sus aliados aquí en el Caribe, the other countries that are helping you out here. Because that's important to know.
Very much so. And the region has welcomed it, very much so. A lot publicly, many privately, saying thank you. Thank you for addressing something that's been obvious for us for far too long. And so we anticipate a growing chorus of voices to say, hey, we welcome America here. This is the Americas. And we've suffered from narco-terrorism directly. And again, that's not why we're doing it. This is America first. This is protecting American citizens. But wherever we can bring allies along, we're proud to do so.
Maduro dice que el video del barco que explotó fue hecho por inteligencia artificial, AI. ¿Cuál es su respuesta?
He knows it's a lie. They'll only be able to maintain that lie for so long. I watched the strike live. We knew exactly who it was, exactly what they were doing, exactly where they were going, what they were involved in. And, the folks who knew those folks know exactly what happened. So he's going to try to explain it away or lie to his people, as he has for a very long time. He's an indicted drug trafficker, wanted by the United States for $50 million. He's not a legitimate president of Venezuela. He's running a narco state. He controls narco-terrorist organizations. So, of course, he'll lie about it. But he's feeling the heat, and he should.
El presidente Trump y Pam Bondi también dicen que Nicolás Maduro, siendo líder de esta organización criminal transnacional, tiene que irse de poder. ¿Qué evidencia tiene el gobierno de los Estados Unidos sobre la conexión de Maduro con los cárteles de Soles y de Tren de Aragua?
Well, we know that these organizations, these cartels, are trafficking in drugs. We know that they make it to America. We know that they're being sold in our streets. We know that these gangs are active in our streets, and we know that they're connected to Nicolas Maduro. We know these things. These are not disputed. Pam Bondi knows that. Secretary Rubio knows that. It's evident for the world to see. It's almost plain as day, and a lot of people want to look away. Other presidents have looked away or talked about it. President Trump's willing to stare it down.
Y ahora él le acusa a los Estados Unidos de regime change. Tu respuesta.
To that I say we're going to control and prevent the trafficking of narcotics from narco-terrorists into our country. And we're not doing it as a law enforcement exercise. We're doing it to protect the American people urgently. So if he's going to be involved in continuing those types of activities, those vessels, those cartels will be targeted.
Como hablamos, a esta recompensa de $50 millones. There's this $50 million bounty, let's call it a bounty, para su captura. Si alguien le entrega o si él mismo decide negociar su salida, entonces...
The president has a lot of decisions. I wouldn't want to be Nicolas Maduro right now. Maduro's got a lot of decisions to make. You're sitting on a floating island of American power, and we're prepared to use that power to interdict and destroy narco-terrorists who are sending drugs to our country. We know Nicolas Maduro has been involved in that for a very long time. He's indicted and wanted in the Southern District of New York. There's a bounty for $50 million. The U.S. government wants him. The ball is in his court.
Todos los días él sale en la televisión en Venezuela, hace unos discursos cada día. Esos discursos suenan más y más paranoicos, pero también son desfiantes. They are defiant. Se preocupa que si él no se vaya, ¿qué va a pasar? O sea, si él no va por su cuenta, ¿qué sucede?
President Trump has all the options available to him. And that's not my decision to make. That's not my job. I'll make recommendations. Ultimately, he has good reason to be quite paranoid. If you are leading a narco-terrorist organization that also looks like a state, and you're not a duly elected leader there leading that narco-terrorist exercise, you better end that activity because President Trump's not going to tolerate it. The poisoning of the American people will stop.
Muy bien, hemos escuchado la primera parte que ha dicho de todo, ha hablado en contra de Nicolás Maduro, obviamente, pero vamos a escuchar la segunda parte de esta entrevista en la que precisamente habla acerca de Nicolás Maduro, y no me gustaría ser Nicolás Maduro en este momento, mencionó. Vamos a seguir escuchando. Muy bien, estamos escuchando.
Como saben, la oposición ganó las elecciones en julio del 2024 con más del 70% del voto. Hoy los líderes del partido están en exilio, están escondidos o siendo torturados en prisiones en Venezuela. Cuando Maduro caiga, y ¿tendrá la oposición la seguridad necesaria para asumir el cargo?
I wouldn't want to predetermine any sort of an outcome.
Okay.
And a lot of that's because we've learned a lot from the last 20 years. Endless nation state picking winners and losers. That's not my job. I'm at the War Department. Our job is to make sure President Trump has what he needs in order to have maximum optionality and flexibility to apply American power to save American lives. And so we're here in the Caribbean to prevent narco-terrorists from trafficking drug. I don't know what'll happen next, and there'll be decisions to be made on that front. But again, I would, if I'm Nicolas Maduro, I would take a real hard look at what I'm involved in right now.
¿Y si eres China? What do you think?
Well, thank you for bringing that up. I mean, China is making a play in our hemisphere as well. Previous administration was asleep at the wheel in multiple aspects of Central and South America. And so a part of having this ARGMU here, having these destroyers here, working out of Puerto Rico and other allies that we have here, is a recognition that America's back in the Western Hemisphere. We should not cede this hemisphere to anybody. And certainly our presence here is a reflection of that, and that includes China.
Estamos viendo posiblemente una nueva doctrina de foreign policy para el presidente Trump, una nueva Monroe Doctrine para el presidente Trump.
I would leave it to the president to determine what the doctrine is or is not called. Maybe a Don Roe doctrine if he wanted
John
to.
Roe.
But
it's about being here in the Western Hemisphere.
It's about protecting the homeland.
Yeah.
Securing our border. You know, you can talk about securing other people's borders, which we've done for 20 years, 25 years. My generation's a reflection of that, securing the Afghan-Pakistan border. How about the U.S. border?
Yeah.
President Trump has made that a central mission the War Department, previously Defense Department, War Department has made that a focus. And being able to focus in our own hemisphere and prevent narco-terrorism is exactly the type of projection of power we should have. So I'll leave it to the president to determine what that doctrine might look like, but we are ensuring the American people are safe.
La presidenta Claudia Sheinbaum en México es otra aliada de Nicolás Maduro. Su propio país ahora es un narcoestado, se ha caído en un narcoestado y sus ciudadanos suplican al presidente Trump que ayude para pelear contra los cárteles que de verdad controlan como 40% del territorio de México. ¿Qué es tu mensaje a Claudia Sheinbaum?
Well, I mean, I think the fact that we're dealing directly with narco-terrorism and cartels is a message in and of itself. Obviously, we would love for Mexico and our military partners and other partners there to address those challenges. We retain maximum optionality. As I've said in here and anywhere else, all options can be and should be on the table. Well, we would prefer that Mexico address their cartel problem and we don't have to do it for them.
Hay servicios religiosos en este barco. Explica por qué esto es importante para el servicio militar.
You know, the old adage is there's no atheists in foxholes. There's a long tradition in our military of appealing to heaven, of knowing that God has a plan. We don't know. We can make all the plans we want, but the enemy gets a vote and God has a plan. And so we appeal to him and his divine providence. And we're glad to revive that inside the War Department. We've done monthly services, prayer services. We encourage faith. We encourage prayer inside our formations. We want chaplains to be empowered to talk about that. I said a prayer over lunch today. We should not be ashamed of our faith. We should not be ashamed of the name Jesus Christ. We should not be ashamed to appeal to that. And I'm glad that's happening inside our formations. I think it makes for more ready troops. You've got physical readiness, you've got emotional readiness, and you've got spiritual readiness. Understanding who you are, human nature, your relationship with your creator is important. It adds value and significance. So I'm glad to hear that feedback, that chaplains and others feel empowered. We welcome that.
Last question. Esto es serio. This is very serious. Yo he estado aquí mirando todo. Es gigantesca ¿cómo lo llamas? Un amphibious barco, buque. Esto es grande. Este movimiento es grande. ¿Qué es tu mensaje final al todo el hemisferio?
Well, I think I gave a lot of it on the ship today. The message to the hemisphere, as it has been from President Trump from the beginning, is that we're going to achieve peace through strength. We're going to put America first. In this case, the Americas first, our hemisphere, secure our homeland. But we're not going to sit back and watch the American people be threatened. We're not going to sit back and watch the American people be poisoned, watch people be trafficked, watch violent gangs exist inside our country. That's why you're seeing mass deportations. That's why you're seeing criminality being locked down. That's why our borders locked down. This is an extension of that. This is not
ally with Iran, China, Russia.
Nothing here is by happenstance. Nothing here is meant to feel nothing being done without a great deal of intentionality and thought. We're not winging anything here. This is an understanding of exactly how America should project power. We've projected power for a long time in far-flung places that had a nebulous connection to our own security in the homeland. We're securing the homeland. When you talk to the Americans on this ship, they're proud to be on the front lines for their country in their hemisphere. Many of them had family members or know people who died from drugs. I mean, it's a scourge in our communities. We have a chance to confront that, and they're proud to be a part of that as well. So it's humbling to watch these great Americans on this ship, and I know you got a chance to talk to them.
It's been pretty remarkable. I'll say this too. It seems very personal for President Trump. He lost a brother to an addiction. I feel like this is personal. The idea of making sure we don't poison our people.
That's the word I was looking for, is flippant. Nothing here is flippant. President Trump takes this incredibly seriously. He loves the American people. He doesn't want these types of things on our streets. Poisoning our kids is personal for him.
Yeah.
You hear it when he talks about military operations. He wants to make sure we're doing everything we can to safeguard American lives. And that includes taking strong, kinetic, decisive action to send clear messages to narco-terrorists and traffickers. This will not stand anymore. Those drugs in your boat were headed for an American city eventually. We know that because we know how this all connects. That ends today. And it's not just we stop you, search you, and maybe seize some drugs. It's this is over. And if the next cartel tries it and the next trafficker tries it, they might meet the same fate. That should have the kind of deterrent effect we want. And so this is the kind of signal he wants to send, and I'm proud to serve a commander-in-chief who does it strongly.
Well, it's been incredibly impressive to be on this ship and watching what goes on, how many people are on here as a military brat. Even and I've been around a lot of things before. I'm absolutely bowled over by the power that you see on this.
And I think that's why the ratcheting up of pressure. It's one thing for leaders to talk about what people realize the amount of military might that's forming in the Caribbean to prevent this narco trafficking, and that sends a real signal. Yes.
Thank you.
Hemos escuchado esta entrevista justamente que el secretario de guerra Pete Hegseth, quien habló por Fox Noticias, y él mencionó algo: no me gustaría ser Nicolás Maduro en este momento. Ha dicho también que Nicolás Maduro es un narcotraficante acusado y buscado por Estados Unidos, que ofrece una recompensa por él de $50 millones, y afirmó que el presidente Donald Trump está dispuesto a enfrentar a los cárteles y a Maduro. El presidente no lo tolerará, mencionó, y añadió que Trump tiene muchas decisiones. No me gustaría ser Maduro en este momento. Maduro tiene muchas decisiones que tomar. Él no es presidente legítimo de Venezuela. Está dirigiendo un narcoestado y controla organizaciones narcoterroristas. Así que, por supuesto, va a mentir al respecto. Mencionó, además, recalcó que la designación del Cártel de los Soles como terroristas no fue a la ligera. Significa que estos terroristas han sido advertidos y están designados, ya sea el Cártel de los Soles, el Tren de Aragua. Tú los nombras, sabemos quién eres, sabemos qué estás haciendo y no lo vamos a tolerar en nuestro hemisferio, mencionó el secretario de guerra. Ultimatum a Nicolás Maduro. Explicó también cómo Nicolás Maduro está conectado con el Tren de Aragua y el Cártel de los Soles, y obviamente Estados Unidos lo sabe, y que son organizaciones que venden droga a los estadounidenses. Insistió en que Estados Unidos está defendiendo la frontera sur con su operativo que va en contra de los cárteles de Venezuela. Al ser consultado sobre las declaraciones de Maduro, quien afirmó la destrucción de la lancha que viajaba de Sucre a Trinidad y Tobago fue generada con inteligencia artificial, él respondió que ya sabe que la dictadura siempre miente. Sabes que es una mentira, solo podrá mantenerla por cierto tiempo. Yo vi el ataque en vivo, sabíamos exactamente quién era y qué estaban haciendo, insistió Hegseth sobre las personas que se encontraban a bordo de esta lancha de 4 motores que fue destruida el 2 de septiembre en la madrugada. Y también mencionó acerca de que es el momento, ¿no? Es el momento en el que se entregue Nicolás Maduro. Importante entrevista.